Live with news that matters to you. KOLO-TV News Now starts now.
Tonight on KOLO-TV News Now, a fireworks warehouse in Northern California explodes, leaving 7 people unaccounted for as the search intensifies. Why family members of the missing are voicing their frustration. And a surprise plea deal leaving families of victims shocked and bringing a quadruple murder case to an end. Thank you for joining us. I'm Emily Benito. Taylor Burke has the night off. We begin with our first alert fire coverage. Crews are making good progress on the Barron fire, now over 75% contained. It started around 2 yesterday afternoon on Rattlesnake Mountain, burning roughly 290 acres. Firefighters got much needed help from the weather with a downpour of rain centered right above the fire. Just before around 4:30 yesterday afternoon. This came after one of their aircrafts had to be grounded because someone was flying a drone in the fire area. How the fire started remains under investigation. New developments in a story were brought to you last night. The massive fireworks explosion in Northern California, leveling a fireworks warehouse and igniting other fires in the area. As Trevor Alt reports, authorities now saying 7 people are missing and an urgent search is underway.
Tonight, authorities say 7 people are unaccounted for after this stunning explosion at a California fireworks warehouse.
Just a huge fireworks explosion in the field.
These massive flames erupting over and over Tuesday night in Yolo County outside Sacramento. You can see some of those dangerous fireworks igniting.
Well, I thought it was an earthquake.
911 operators overwhelmed with calls from residents saying the blast shook their homes.
Windows, everything rattled. I'm surprised the windows didn't break out.
The warehouse was used for fireworks storage. California fire officials say the explosion charred about 80 acres.
It's a very complex and ongoing incident that is not completely terminated or mitigated.
Tonight, the fire is still burning, and this remains an active threat with the area under evacuation. Investigators are using unmanned aircraft to find those 7 missing people, saying it's still not yet safe to go in.
He was excited to be a dad. I'm only 2 months, so we were just waiting for this as a new opportunity, a new chapter. He saw it as a new chapter in our life.
Now, family members of those missing are voicing their frustration.
We were here since yesterday and have yet to receive any information, have yet to see any efforts.
The cause of this fire is not yet known. We have learned 2 people were injured in the initial explosions. Both of them are expected to be okay. Trevor Alt, ABC News, Los Angeles.
Now we send things over to the weather with a live look outside. Colin Jackson is in for Jeff Thompson and is here with your first alert forecast.
Well, our rain chances are done, not just for the next couple of days, but for the next 7 to 10. We just don't see anything coming, so we might as well talk about this. This is the watering schedule. Remember, your addresses, odd or even, and those are the days then you are allowed to water. Don't do it when you're not allowed to. That's not cool. How about golf? This is always cool. We're forecasting conditions for tomorrow. 10 a.m. and noon looks great. 4, we're giving it a good because it's going to turn windy in the afternoon. Why? Red flag warning in effect from Thursday at noon till Friday at midnight. Hopefully we can calm things down here and on the lake with a lake wind advisory in effect until tomorrow afternoon. Gusty winds, hopefully calming down before we start the fireworks show at 9:30. So prepare for that, but cooler weather's on the way and it's a guarantee. You're going to love the 8th day. That's coming up. Back to you.
Perfect. Thank you, Colin. A crash involving a truck hauling a boat and a motorcycle in South Reno sent the motorcycle rider to the hospital with serious injuries. It happened around 5 o'clock this afternoon on northbound South Virginia Street near Holcomb Lane. The crash causing a traffic backup due to lanes being blocked. The driver of the truck stayed on scene and authorities say that they were cooperative. Sparks police are encouraging parents to have conversations with their kids about the dangers of riding on public roads, following what officers say is an increase in young people operating unlicensed motorized and electric vehicles. Law enforcement says just today, police tried to pull over a dirt bike around Pullman Drive and Union Street when the rider reportedly fled, and officers ended the chase. Then, according to SPD, another officer spotted the rider about 5 minutes later getting a haircut at a salon. When officers approached, they say that the rider asked if they could finish the cut. Police said no and arrested that person. An abrupt end to a quadruple murder case that shook the nation. Brian Kohberger, who was charged with the murders of 4 Idaho students in November 2022, entered a guilty plea in court today. As Maribel Gonzalez reports, the surprise plea deal stunning the families of the victims.
Some of the family members of 4 University of Idaho students stabbed to death inside this off-campus house in 2022, showing up Wednesday to court in Boise, Idaho, to face the man who admitted to the killings.
The defendant will plead guilty to all 5 counts in the indictment: burglary, felony, and first-degree murder, 4 counts. Are you pleading guilty because you are guilty? Yes.
Brian Kohberger entered the guilty plea just 1 month before his quadruple murder trial was set to begin.
I, like most everyone else, learned of this plea agreement Monday afternoon and had no inkling of it beforehand. Prior to that time, I was under the belief that this case was proceeding to trial.
The plea deal, a move that allows Kohberger to skirt the death penalty and that at least one victim's family has condemned.
This isn't what we should be doing. You don't deal with terrorists, and you don't deal with people who kill your kids in their sleep. So, we'll never see this as justice.
And without a trial, key questions about the gruesome murders still linger.
I'm not liking the fact that there's no guarantee here that this individual is going to share details.
The prosecution giving an overview of evidence they would have presented at trial.
The state submits that the evidence that I've given just a quick overview of would show that as the defendant has just admitted and pleaded guilty, on November 13th, 2022, he then killed Manny Mogan, Kaylee Gonzalez, Ethan Chapin, and Santa Cruz.
On the burglary charge, Kohberger will face a sentence of 10 years. He will face a life sentence for each of the 4 counts of first-degree homicide. The 5 counts will run consecutively. House Republican leaders are pushing to get President Donald Trump's domestic policy package passed by the end of the week. But as Washington correspondent Stetson Miller explains, they're facing opposition from members of their own party.
It's still unclear if House Republicans have the votes to get this bill over this final hurdle by July 4th. Many of the party's most conservative members are demanding changes be made to the bill, which would send it back to the Senate and delay its passage.
President Trump's signature bill is in limbo as GOP holdouts in the House raised objections to it on Wednesday. They came after the Senate made changes to the legislation, sending it back to the House for another vote. Many of the lower chamber's most conservative members said they were concerned about the cost of the Senate version and want to make another set of changes.
The Senate has now made some changes. Some are good, some are bad. Now we got to look at the total product and decide what it's about. It's not take it or leave it. How do you take it or leave it legislating? How about we send it back to him and we say take it or leave it?
Meanwhile, Democrats took the opportunity to once again slam the GOP bill, saying they are united in opposition to it.
Every single House Democrat will stand up for your health care. Stand up for your Medicaid. Every single House Democrat will vote hell no against this one big, ugly bill.
House Speaker Mike Johnson said he is still hoping to hold a final vote on the bill soon and aims to have it to the president by his July 4th deadline. In Washington, I'm Stetson Miller.
Still ahead on KOLO-8 News Now, the new Nevada law pertaining to AI, how it aims to protect voters from being deceived, what you'll want to watch out for.
Clinic.
These days, artificial intelligence is so sophisticated, it's hard to tell fantasy from reality. When it comes to political ads, that could pose a problem for voters. KOLO-8 News Now's Terry Russell examines a new Nevada law that could help separate fact from fiction.
For the record, I'm Cisco Aguilar, Secretary of State. It is a pleasure to be...
Earlier this year, Nevada's Secretary of State testified in favor of Assembly Bill 73. The bill took on the issue of artificial intelligence and its use in political ads.
George Washington surfing at Lake Tahoe, There are so many generative AI tools available for use that is a certainty they are going to be used during political campaigns.
Aguilar presented examples of obvious fake pictures generated by artificial intelligence, but there are times where the images can appear very real, perhaps undiscernible to the average person. It happened most recently last fall when Republican North Carolina gubernatorial candidate Mark Robinson was the subject of negative ads against him using AI. Assembly Bill 73 was signed into law by Nevada Governor Joe Lombardo last month. While it does not prohibit AI political ads, it requires the ads to identify themselves to the viewer or listener.
Simply disclose it. Just make sure that the voters are able to make informed decisions based on the information they're seeing. And if that advertisement, if that effort to convince them, again, for or against candidate, ballot question, or solicit funds, if it includes an AI-generated picture, video, audio, simply make sure that they're aware of it.
If it's on television or a social media post, there must be a banner of some sort which appears for the duration of the piece. If it's on radio or podcasts, there must be a voice track at the beginning and end of the ad to identify AI and that it was used to produce the piece.
I grew up castrating hogs on an Iowa farm.
For candidates who are the subject of such ads and want to take action, AB 73 calls for civil action. The average viewer or listener who believes the ad doesn't follow the law is encouraged to call the Secretary of State's office. AB 73 is based on a law out of Washington State. While we haven't seen AI political ads yet in the Silver State, midterm elections are just around the corner. AB 73 takes effect January 1st, 2026. In Carson City, Terry Russell, KOLO-8 News Now.
And if you filled up your gas tank today or yesterday, you may have noticed prices at the pump are up in Washoe County. That's because the increased gas tax has now taken effect, raising the price almost 4 cents a gallon. The increase occurs annually on July 1st, and it is based on a 10-year rolling average as prices for construction, labor, and materials rise. The RTC needs to keep up with the price and be able to match federal dollars. The money collected goes towards local projects like widening Sparks Boulevard and the Arlington Bridges project.
We understand that anytime gas prices go up, people notice it and they feel it. But when they pay that, they also have to understand that there's a reason behind it. We have really good roads in Washoe County. Reno, Sparks, Washoe County all have really good roads. And we wouldn't have that kind of quality if it weren't for the taxes that we're paying when we go to the pump.
All counties in Nevada have a gas tax, but only Clark County and Washoe County include a fuel revenue indexing, which is based on the producer price index of non-residential construction. With the latest increase, drivers are now paying more than 55 cents a gallon in total towards road projects. Still ahead on KOLO-8 News Now, creating a community for foster kids here in Nevada. We're talking to actor Jeremy Renner about his summer camp and the bond he's hoping to create.
Buffet just...
Well, it's Weather Wednesday, and today we're talking about fireworks. The 4th of July is Friday, and there's a big show at the Nugget. And Colin, you're going to tell us what makes fireworks go?
Yes. What makes them, what makes them go? What do the colors mean? And it's not dye. We have to look to the periodic table of elements. Remember that beast?
It's minerals.
Yes. Let's start with this, the simple white firework. This is an example of incandescence, or simply the color of a light bulb. When something gets really hot, the atoms get really excited, and they smash around and release energy in the form of light. But incandescence is hard to control to get vivid colors. For great colors, we need to introduce luminescence. A yellow firework is formed from using sodium, the same stuff in simple table salt. In fact, if you burn table salt, it will burn yellow. Other elements create different colors when heated to a certain point. Strontium, which used to be part of older televisions, burns red. Calcium, the stuff in our bones, creates green, yellow, and red, which when combined burns a bright orange. The element barium provides us with the color green. Arsenic used to be used in the past to get blue colors going, but now copper is used because filling the sky with arsenic is not the best idea. So where do we go from here? It's time to flash this thing. Remember this thing from school? The periodic table elements? It was harsh. To review, strontium makes red, calcium makes orange, sodium makes yellow, barium makes green, copper makes blue, copper and strontium together make purple, magnesium and aluminum make gray, and magnesium, aluminum, and titanium make things white. There you have it. Simple in about a minute. And you thought it was Jell-O. Not true.
How interesting.
Yeah, there you go. Something to water cooler weather. That's what we call Weather Wednesday. Something to talk about tomorrow. 93 was our high today, and that is just 2 degrees above average. That's not too bad. We've done worse, right? We haven't hit 100 this year. It's interesting. 97, Susanville was their high. Lovelock the same. Fallon was 97. And right now, we're sitting at 76. Beautiful night. Winds are still up there. West at 16. So they may not calm down much at all overnight. 79 Fallon, and South Lake's beautiful at 53. Good camping weather if you can find a spot between now and Sunday. It's going to be tough. The radar machine is turned off. Rain here is gone. It's in the Four Corners region. And then to the east, we've got scattered showers off the coast of the east coast of the states. And that's really about it. Wind speeds tomorrow. Note the colors. That's gusts represented to be 30 to 35 miles per hour. That's tomorrow. Same thing on Friday. Hopefully, we can get things to calm down. By the time we get to, 8 o'clock, that would be good. Futurecast is a sleeper. Nothing coming our way, really, over the next 7 to 10 days. Highs in Tahoe, upper 70s tomorrow. Down south, 80 Bridgeport, 90 Yerington. So some places touching 90, but not a lot. Tonopah goes to 89. Central zones will get you to 93 in Lovelock after a low of 58. Fernley drops off to 60, high 94 on Thursday, which is kind of a Friday because it's a 3-day weekend. 92 Lockwood. Sunny skies in Washoe Valley and Galena, but upper 80s for highs. A lot of 90s out there. 94 could be the hot spot in South Meadows. Cold Springs instead might hit 90. Sun Valley 92, low 60. Metro zones 86 Quincy. 92 Susanville and Pyramid Lake. I bet fishing's going to be good there, but it may be crowded. 80 Virginia City up at the Comstock and 8 days out. 85 on Friday. Doesn't that look great? That means by 9:30 we'll be in the 70s. And then for Saturday and Sunday, very bearable, 89 to 94. Overnight lows in the mid 50s. And then most of next week we bounce her back up into the upper 90s. So when you go out for your fireworks show, match the element to the color and you'll impress your friends. Back to you.
Thank you, Colin. I'll definitely try. Now, actor Jeremy Renner wants to inspire local kids and give them an unforgettable summer experience. For the second year, the Renovation Foundation is hosting a week-long camp at Lake Tahoe for more than 100 foster and at-risk youth, where they can have fun, reconnect with siblings, and build relationships. For these kids, this is more than just a summer camp. It's a chance to feel safe and be celebrated.
We're building community day by day with them, creating opportunities, planting seeds of hope for all of us. And we do it together. These kids deserve it, man.
And the kids are having a blast. The camp is provided at no cost to foster families, thanks to donors and community partners, and numerous volunteers, and more than 30 organizations who have been creating unforgettable experiences, such as hot air balloon tethered rides. In about a month, the Renovation Foundation will be holding a second session of this summer camp. That one will take place in Portola and will be geared towards 110 teenagers. When we return from the break, Medicaid cuts, the potential impact of the bill being debated in Congress on people here in Nevada.
When you're
Staying active is a critical component of being healthy, but in our busy lives, it can sometimes be hard to find the time to work out. In tonight's Medical Minute, Mandy Gaither has simple ways to work exercise into your daily life.
From work to family responsibilities, our schedules tend to stack up.
One of the biggest complaints I hear when it comes to exercise
I just don't have the time.
But part of staying healthy is being active. The CDC says adults need at least 150 minutes of moderate intensity physical activity a week and 2 days of muscle strengthening activity every week. The good news is that you don't have to get it done all at once. It can be spread throughout the week. And if you're just starting out, it's okay to take it slow, says Dr. Sanjay Gupta.
Research shows even a 5-minute walk will do you good. Just get moving somehow, one foot in front of the other, and then incorporate it into your daily routine.
Start the habit of exercise by slowly adding to those short walks. Gupta says to make slight changes to increase your steps. Try parking farther away from a store or from work, or take the stairs instead of the elevator. But he says to commit to taking that 5-minute or more walk every day.
This snack-size exercise routine can eventually lead to longer walks and workouts. Usually it takes 2 to 3 weeks for something to become a habit, but if you can build up to 11 minutes of more moderate to vigorous types of activity a day, you could lower your risk of cancer, cardiovascular disease, even premature death.
And the Senate passed President Trump's big, beautiful bill Tuesday morning after much deliberation between senators. We take a closer look at the potential impacts for our home, Northern Nevada. Nevada Senators Catherine Cortez Masto and Jackie Rosen voted no on President Trump's big, beautiful bill that passed the Senate Tuesday morning.
About 70,000 Nevadans will be kicked off of Medicaid, and about 40,000 will lose their coverage under the Affordable Care Act.
Senator Cortez Masto says the bill will negatively impact seniors and children in the Silver State.
Thanks to this bill, over 1 million seniors now could see their health care prices increase, and it could terminate health care coverage for 1.5 million children.
Senator Cortez Masto says that this won't just affect those on Medicaid, but also premiums for the rest of us. And she says that hospitals will have to cut back services. That's where Northern Nevada Hopes comes in.
We're very alarmed about the proposed cuts that came from the Senate.
CEO of Northern Nevada Hopes, Sharon Chamberlain, says that if the bill passes the House, they will likely have to cut services and close some of their care facilities.
We serve over 32 million patients. This is going to, suggested by studies, close about 40% of health center sites across the nation. We serve about 22,000 patients annually, and those individuals, about 40% are Medicaid patients.
We reached out to Congressman Mark Amodei and his team, and they have said that he will release a statement after the vote. Reporting in Reno, Emily Benito, KOLO-TV News Now. And Washoe County School District students are encouraged to sign up for free bus rides. Students under 18 can sign up online on June 7th. To download a pass that allows them to ride without having to pay a dime. It's all thanks to a new pilot program created from the partnership between Washoe County School District and RTC, making bus transportation available for reliable rides to school, jobs, summer programs, and more. The school district and the RTC will evaluate the program's impact through ridership data and community feedback to determine next steps after the pilot concludes in the summer of 2026. Tomorrow you can celebrate a heart-healthy food that comes in a whopping 40,000 varieties. And that's because it's National Eat Your Beans Day. That's right, there are about 40,000 bean varieties growing around the world, but only a fraction are mass-produced for the U.S. to eat. Legumes are packed with protein, complex carbs, fiber, and iron, and they can be found in most of our favorite foods, from soups to salads and dips like hummus, which is made with garbanzo beans or chickpeas. They're one of the most nutrient-rich beans you can choose. With so many options, including green and soybeans, celebrating the day will be easy.
I love my chickpeas.
I love chickpeas.
Turned it into hummus.
Yeah, it's a very good summer dish.
It is. And we have meal ideas needed for the 4th, right?
Yes.
You gotta bring something to the party.
Mm-hmm.
We're bringing cooler weather, mid-80s for July 4th. That means 70s by 9:30. And then the weekend turns warmer, but certainly not hot. The hot stuff comes back next week, upper 90s again. But no hundreds yet this season, officially, and nothing in the 8th day either. So we're looking good. And we do have a wind issue tomorrow, and part of Friday, hopefully we can get the wind to calm down by the time we do the fireworks between 9 and 9:30.
Fingers crossed.
That's the goal.
So that we can all celebrate.
Yes.
Well, thank you so much for watching KOLO-8 News Now. Jimmy Kimmel Live is next. We'll see you back here tomorrow night at 11. For more information as you saw here tonight, check out KOLO-TV.com. We're also on Twitter and Facebook. Have a good night.